Elon just announced that the Gigafactory Texas opening party and factory tour will happen on April 7th. I'm going and have booked my flight tickets. In this video, I'll share why I'm making a trip around the world to visit Giga Texas and answer your questions on how I film YouTube videos. My name is Daren. Click subscribe to stay updated to more videos on Tesla. A few months ago, I set foot in Gigafactory Berlin. That was a life-changing experience for me. It was the largest building I've ever been inside of, and my first time seeing a car assembly line. I've learned so much about the machine that makes the machine, and it showed me that Tesla isn't just a great software company, it's also a great manufacturing company. A factory tour of that scale does not easily come by. Most companies aren't as open as Tesla. I'll put a link to the factory tour video in the description. I want to thank the Tesla Owners Singapore Club as well as the Tesla team for giving me the opportunity, as well as all the Tesla Owners Clubs that we met in Berlin for being such a warm and welcoming community. It was also the first time that we got to see Elon live. After visiting Giga Berlin, which felt like a giant playground to a Tesla fan like me, I couldn't say no to the opportunity to visit Giga Texas. Here are 3 reasons why I'm doing it. Number 1, understanding the company. Seeing is believing. A factory tour would give us a hands-on look into Tesla's technology and manufacturing leadership, as well as an opportunity to speak directly with the engineers who run the factory. That deepens my understanding of Tesla and its people and increases my conviction as an investor. The second reason, celebrating Tesla. What better place to celebrate Tesla's big milestones over the years than in Tesla's new HQ together with Elon? There is a lot to celebrate with Tesla opening 2 new Gigafactories, record deliveries in 2021, and the arrival of 4680 battery cells. I also believe that we may have a chance to test ride the Model S Plaid, or maybe even the new Cybertruck or Roadster. That would be a delight. Number 3, the Tesla community. Tesla owners, investors, employees, and fans from all over the world will be there. It's a rare opportunity to exchange stories, learn from their experiences, and build friendships. If you're planning to visit Giga Texas, let me know. For everyone else, my goal is to bring the magic of Giga Texas direct into the comfort of your home. I know it's very hard for many of us to travel right now. One of the gifts of YouTube is that you can travel with me. Some of you are curious about how I bring these videos to life. Let's dive into your questions. Martin, Shrimp, and NetViper asks, what tools, equipment, and software do I use? For most videos, everything I need is in one duffel bag. This one here. It's a small duffel bag, and I carry it around because I travel and film outdoors a lot. So I want something compact and light. Let's take a look at what's inside. The first thing that I have is a Sony mirrorless camera, the Sony a7S3. It's relatively small for a mirrorless camera. It's got a nice flip out screen, which is good because I'm solo filming most of the time. So I need to be able to see myself on the flip out camera. You may be wondering, what am I filming on right now? I've got a second mirrorless camera from Sony. It's a Sony A1. I use it mainly for photography, but it's also very useful for my B-roll photography on some videos like the Tesla light show videos or even some interviews. I can't see myself right now because this camera that I'm filming on does not have a flip out screen. So that's the first thing. Next thing that I have is a shotgun mic. This is the Sony ECM B1M shotgun mic. What's nice about this is that it's really easy to fit in. I just fit it into the horseshoe at the top. Lock it in. And that's it. No wires, no separate charging needed. Very simple, elegant solution. And it's small enough, it isn't so big that it intimidates people or scares people, because I film outdoor a lot. If my gear is too big, people notice it. I want to be as unnoticed as possible. You may be wondering then, why don't I just use an iPhone to film? You can. I'm just a tech geek. I love technology, I love all these gadgets. There is no reason why you need all of these fancy equipment to run a YouTube channel. So that's just my own personal passion. You're not going to get more subscribers or more likes or more engagement because your video is in 4K or high quality. Does it help? Maybe, but not most of the time. Next, I've got a towel because I film outdoors a lot. So some of you commented, yeah, I sweat when I go out a lot. Singapore is a very hot country. Hopefully when we go to Austin next month, it's a bit cooler. Definitely not as humid as Singapore. Humidity here is very high. That humidity is good for the skin though. The last thing that I have here, last major thing, is a tripod. This looks small. I like this tripod because it packs in easily, which is good for travel. I can put it in my backpack or this duffel bag. This is a Peak Design tripod. It looks light, but it's not as light as it looks. So how do you unfold it? You open the legs with this locking mechanism, 3 legs here. I'm just going to only unlock the top 3 because I'm sitting down. Then you pull them out and then you lock them back like so. You open the legs, put them over here, and I fit my camera in on top. And that's it. And adjust the height, bring it up a little bit. And this mechanism here allows me to swivel the camera all around. So once I'm happy with the height, I normally have it at eye level, whether I'm sitting or standing. Most videos are standing. I lock it in, move it over, and I'm ready to film. That's it. All my gear, all my equipment is just this. That's it. Alright, so how does it look like? I turn on my camera, I make sure my mic settings are all okay. And I look at the camera, normally slightly below the lens barrel, and I go, welcome back to Investing with Daren. Click subscribe to stay updated to more videos on Tesla. And that's it. I can see myself in this flip out screen. You can see the flip out screen over here. Hello. I film using a 20mm f1.8 Sony lens. I like this lens size because it's wide enough that you can see my background, and it fits 2 people in the screen for most of my interview videos. Right now, I'm filming on a 14mm lens, a much wider lens. So you get to see me wearing my shorts and everything else. So I'm doing this because this is a behind the scenes video. So there you go. I use this lens that you're seeing right now when I'm filming a larger group, maybe with 2, 3, 4 people in a scene. That's what I use. Okay, so that's my core filming setup. Then inside my duffel bag, I have an ND filter. This is very useful when I'm filming in very sunny times. This makes sure that everything turns a bit darker. I'll show you the effect. When I move it closer to the lens, you can see that everything's a bit darker. So it's very good for sunny days. Lastly, what I use to edit. All my devices are Apple, so I use M1 Max MacBook Pro 14-inch. I got the 14-inch one because I travel a lot. I intend to travel to many different places. So 14 inches allows me to comfortably have it on a train, a bus, an airplane tray table, hotel tables. Some hotel tables are quite small. So 14-inch is powerful. I used to have a 13-inch M1 MacBook Pro. This is a lot more powerful, desktop class computing. And it saves me about an hour of editing through all the rendering time. Very useful. The software that I use is Final Cut Pro. You want to see what it looks like? It's a paid software by Apple, and it works really well with the M1 chip. So this is what it looks like. See, I have earlier scenes of this video on Final Cut Pro over here right now. I'm not the fanciest editor. I'm learning a lot. I only just started making videos 8 months ago. So one step at a time. So that's all my tools, equipment, and software. Lastly, I do bring my phone around as a backup camera, and I'll talk a little bit more about what this does also. Next, Little Drummer Boy asks, what background music and video clip provider do I use? For most of my music, it comes from the free music library from YouTube Studio. When you create a YouTube channel, you go to YouTube Studio, you'll find a long list of sound effects and music, and you keep on adding new ones every month. I like it because it's hassle-free, it's on YouTube itself. I don't have to use another third-party software or website. Because sometimes when I use third-party website and music from that location, occasionally I get a copyright notice, even though it's meant to be free or it's paid for. I don't want to deal with that hassle. On video clip providers, I use Storyblocks. It is a website, not free. I've got to pay an annual subscription. I find it very useful for many videos just to add an accompanying video to illustrate a point. Next question. Ari and Kelvin Learns Investing asks, do you script your videos? How do you film outdoors without notes? And lastly, how do you memorize your script? Yes, I do script my videos. All my scripts are in a Google Doc on my phone. You can see them over here for most of my episodes. Filming outdoors without notes, what I do is, I look at a paragraph, I say one paragraph worth of words, and when I'm satisfied with it, I look at the next paragraph in my notes and go on. So it's a step-by-step process to film. No smooth flow, no one take. Yeah, so that's my secret. And for most of my videos, because I'm filming with a 20mm lens, you only see my top half. Most of the time, I'm actually holding my phone on my left hand. So now you know my secret behind the scenes. With this wider lens, you're able to see my whole body. So if my hands look stiff, it's because I'm holding a phone. So it's something that I'm training myself to try to be a bit more natural and organic with. So Kelvin, I don't memorize my script. It's really hard. I try to remember key points, but sometimes I go super off tangent. This comes to the next question by Nick and Sheldon. They ask, how do I prepare my script and how many takes do I shoot? So, talking about my script, every time when I write the script, it takes me about half an hour on average to write most episodes. Sometimes less, sometimes more. I don't always have a script in advance. There are days where in the morning, I think, let's talk about this topic. Example, for this video, Elon tweeted, we're going to Giga, Texas. And I'm like, okay, let's film a video about it. I was literally writing my script on the taxi on the way to filming locations. That's it. Sometimes it's a bit more pre-planned when I'm filming interviews. Of course, I need to let the other party know in advance the question that I'm asking. So my scripting is a mix in between. So fun fact, for my total filming process for every video, it takes me roughly about 3 to 4 hours. 1 hour to script and film, and 2 to 3 hours to edit the video. It's not going to be perfect. I believe in 80-20. So at the end of 3 to 4 hours, whatever I have, I'll publish it. It's not going to be the most perfect video, but because I've got a full-time job, I've got a 5-year-old girl to take care of, this is the best I can do, especially if I want to publish 2 videos per week. Doing this is very, very hard. And some of you also ask, is this a good way to make money? There are far easier ways to make money. You might as well just be an investor. Click 2 buttons, wait 5 years. You'll probably make a lot more money than being a YouTuber. I shoot 3 takes for most solo filming videos like this. Why? Because I film outdoors most of the time, there is so much out of my control. A very noisy bus coming past. A bird landing here deciding to tweet for 5 minutes straight. Or I fumble my words, I fumble my gestures. So 3 takes gives me enough insurance to have a good take for the final video. For interview videos, it's only 1 take. 1 long continuous take. So what I normally tell my guests is, we'll take 1 full shot. Anytime you feel you got a verbal typo, you want to revisit a topic, you can go back, I'll edit it out. So all interviews are just 1 long continuous take. And there's a lot of editing that goes behind the scenes. They make them seamless. Next question, Kay asks, how do you film in public without angering people? I think it takes a lot of research and also a little bit of thick skin. I do my best to film in non-peak periods like early mornings or late at night, or times when people have just finished lunch breaks and it's very quiet in a lot of city areas. Still, it's not easy. You got to know that there's some places that don't allow filming. Sometimes I learn it the hard way. And sometimes there's some places that are really open, like the Apple stores, the Tesla stores. They are really friendly and they allow me to film in their locations. For that, I'm very thankful for. Filming outdoors is tough. There's so many variables to manage. The weather is a big one. It could be very sunny, it could rain all of a sudden. I had videos where all the weather appeared in one episode. That's crazy. Then you've got noise pollution. I'm a lot more sensitive now to noise pollution in cities, especially from construction and road traffic. Then you've got people to manage the flow of people, to make sure they're not filming in too busy of an environment. And lastly, there are all kinds of surprises when you're filming outdoor. There could be last minute construction, renovation, the building you want to go to is being painted right now or under maintenance. Anything can happen. It's a lot easier to film indoor where you can control your own lights, your own sound, your own background. Why do I go through all the hassle of doing this? I do this because one, I've been stuck at home so much for the past 2 years that any reason to go out, I'll take it. Second, sometimes your background can accentuate and help tell your story. When you look at a screen, for most YouTube videos, the person talking is just about 25-30% of the screen. What happens to the remaining 70% of it? It isn't used that much. So I try to do my best to let my background tell a little bit of the story also. And the third reason, in a time when most of us can't travel, a lot of us want to see what the world looks like. Many of you from around the world got to see Singapore. Even those of you here in Singapore got to see new parts of Singapore. Many of you joined me on a trip a few months ago to Frankfurt and Berlin, and then Malaysia in KL last month. We're going to Austin together in April. So I think there's so much beauty in the world and I want to tell that story. Yeah, maybe I should get Singapore Tourism Board to sponsor our videos. So that's why I do it, that's why I film outdoors. And I don't intend to stop. Next question, Oman asks, how do you get labor to hold your cameras? For most videos, I use a tripod, so no one needed to hold the cameras. I position them when I need to, film, carry them on my shoulder again, go to the next location, set it up, and film again. Some videos, I will have someone holding the camera when it needs to move. For instance, the Gigafactory Berlin video or some of the Tesla store tours. Most of the time, that's my wife. So lots of love and credits to my wife. Thank you, Grace. And also sometimes I am my own labor. I would hold the camera to film some videos like the ones where we do a Tesla Model 3 tour or walkthrough with Alvin or Linda. So that's what I do. Last question, Andrew asks, should one care about how one's voice sounds? How to be confident in front of a camera? And should I use a teleprompter? Your voice is a superpower. Everyone remembers Darth Vader's iconic voice by James Earl Jones.
No, I am your father.
You think about the voice actors and the job they had to do on animations like Toy Story. They brought it to life. I use my voice in many ways. I vary my tone. A higher tone when I want to convey something important. A softer whisper to share a secret. I use pauses when I want to land a point that is important. Some of us improve through programs like Toastmasters, which I took in university days. Others can go through voice coaching or voice training. Our voice is a big part of our personality. On being confident in front of a camera, let me tell you a secret. I'm an introvert. I'm happy staying at home alone, playing on my PlayStation 5 for 8 hours without talking to anyone. Doing this is hard for me. The only way you can get better is through practice, practice, practice. Practice helps bring us from awkward to amazing over a long period of time. The more we do it, the more we learn. So that's what works for me. And even then, I'm still improving every single day. Lastly, on teleprompters, I don't use a teleprompter at all for any of the videos on this channel. You already know my secret. I use my phone, my notes are here, I have them in my hand, I'll read a couple of lines, I'll go back to the camera, read a couple of lines, and back. That's my approach. Thank you for your questions and all your support. It's been 8 months since we started this journey in late June 2021. 10,000 subscribers is a nice milestone. I couldn't have done this without you. If you found this video useful, please click the like button. Hit subscribe to stay updated to more videos on Tesla. Take care and see you in the next one. Bye bye.